That Don't Sound Right is a podcast about talking the way we did before the internet, when you could not prove anyone right or wrong.
All the expertise was contained in the people involved with the conversation. I'm Peter.
I'm Cecil, and I hope you enjoy our conversations. And as you listen, if you find yourself silently saying, that don't sound right, send us a comment. You're one of us. On tonight's episode, we may have a case of semantic satiation and unami.
Unami?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I remember that one.
Yeah.
Unami.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, Cecil. Hey, it's good to be back.
It is, and it's not freezing this week.
Yeah, we're on my sun porch, the recording sun porch, although when you look outside, it's kind of gray and cloudy, and the floor might be a little bit cold out here.
Well, we're set up for as much success as we've had at any previous podcast because everything seems to be on and working, and we don't have a heater running, so this should be pretty good.
And maybe we'll even increase further our international listenership.
Yeah,
what we got going on?
I thought I'd run down the roster. We've got not just people in the United States listening, but we've got Canada, Germany, Japan, the UK, the Philippines, and Romania.
My gracious. That's, well, thanks to everyone for tuning in every week and listening to our 10 to 14 minutes of random talking.
Yeah. Well, we got a special guest this week.
That's right. Yeah. So speaking of random talking, we've got my 18-year-old daughter, Emily. She's here. She's been listening to the podcast, or at least listening to me talk about the podcast. And with receiving some eye rolling and some jeering and mockery, but also some laughter. But it's you've been thinking about some things, and you want to be on here. So welcome to the show, Emily.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So what do you what's been on your mind? What do you think that Cecil and I need to tackle this week?
Well, so I was wondering if eating a lot of temperature hot foods, like over the course of your lifetime, does that damage your taste buds so that you are less sensitive to eating spicy foods?
Okay, so this so tell me how you came up with this question. What made you question this particular part of reality for you?
Okay, so we're at the dinner table and we, the foods just come off the stove and stuff. Although I guess the plates are kind of cold or something. So you, Dad, you get your food and then you immediately take it to the microwave because it's too cold.
Yes.
And you want your food piping hot.
I gotta see steam.
And then you just, douse your food in hot sauce or sriracha sauce.
Yes.
And if something, like, you can't make chili anymore because every time you make it, it is way too spicy for the rest of us.
I have been banned from the chili cooking department. So how long has this been going on, would you say?
Pretty much my whole life.
Okay.
I've seen it.
All right. So this is an ongoing episode at our dinner table.
So the premise is that your dad has burnt out his taste buds, and that allows from heat, and that allows him to eat spicy food.
Yes.
Right.
Well,
So-
I can say that her observations are true. And but the whole idea of me burning out my taste buds, I have to say, that don't sound right.
Now, the reason you think that doesn't sound right is because there's really only 5 things that you taste.
Exactly.
So that's salty, sweet. Mm-hmm. See, salty, sweet, sour, bitter,
Umami.
Oh, that's like the chicken flavor.
Right. So so it's the
That's not a bean. That's not a bean that comes in a shell. That
is I know what you're trying to say.
what's the bean that we eat?
Right.
Oh, edamame.
Oh, okay, that's different.
I actually think edamame may have unami.
That's right.
That don't sound right.
Right. So the 5th one is the ability. I cannot describe what it is.
Well, I remember learning about it in my psychology class. It's like, I think it's like the freshness of meat, specifically in like chicken
Okay.
or poultry, I think.
So that goes along with the whole everything tastes like chicken.
Right.
All right, everything. Well, it tastes like chicken. If you had something you've never had before, it's like the default flavor, I guess, right?
Well, I've actually, I think it almost has something to do with like even like what you're saying, the freshness of food, or the, even maybe the I don't know, I can't define it.
Maybe you can pick up whether something is spoiled or not.
Maybe.
Yeah, it kind of goes along.
It kind of is like maybe a warning flavor. Like if you taste this,
taste
red
it,
flag should be going
that's
up.
like what bitter is.
Okay.
Like that's why we taste bitter stuff.
I gotcha.
Well, umami, I've always heard like with soy sauce, is that kind of that flavor in soy sauce that you can't quite put your finger on.
Okay, well,
It's
edamame is a soybean, so maybe
That's true. Maybe they are.
maybe we're onto something. But let's get back to the topic at hand.
Right.
So basically, if I eat a lot of Hot Pockets, because they come out, as you know, you put them in a dirty microwave and they come out
Piping hot.
liquid magma hot.
Right.
You burn your tongue over and over again, so everything tastes like rubber. Now I can eat spicy food all I want, and I just got to say is that spice is not a taste bud.
Right. So here's what I think. I think spice is actually affecting your pain sensors,
Okay.
your nociceptors receptors.
The what kind? Say again.
The NOCI,
Okay.
which I could be made up. But
This is not just for the listeners. This is when everyone would get out their phones and start Googling just a fact check. What you said, Emily, and then this nociceptor and this edamame flavor.
Chicken flavor.
Okay.
We've got a lot to double check on in this episode.
Google is burning up right now.
So if you're not burning out your taste buds, I think maybe the hot temperature foods that you're eating have allowed you to have a higher pain tolerance. I think that these spicy foods actually activate the pain sensors and maybe not the taste sensors.
Well, that might, that's going along what I've heard, but I've heard that the spice, the sensitivity to spice is actually an allergic reaction. It's an allergic reaction to whatever chemicals is in spice. That's why it burns going in both directions, right? You're actually having a chemical reaction, an allergic reaction. But it's like you said, Cecil, if it's a pain receptor that's ignited by an allergy, and I've had allergies all my life. I mean, I remember growing up with allergy shots and not being able to breathe. Then that would seem to the whole truth. There might be an experiment we can do.
Yes.
And now I don't say anyone on our listenership should do this.
Do not try this at home.
Do not, just like the roadside fines, don't stop for that ratchet strap and don't do this.
Leave that to the professionals.
In fact, Emily's going to do it, won't you? We'll let my 18-year-old daughter, she's very resilient.
Right.
So an experiment is that before we go to, say, what's a spicy food restaurant? Thai?
Yes.
Okay, Thai. Maybe our we get some Thailand listenership. But before we go to a Thai restaurant, Emily, we'll just load you up on either Tylenol and ibuprofen. We're going to block those pain receptors, and we're going to see if you can tolerate spicy food. Actually, we need to do it twice. We need to go once.
You need a control run.
There you go. We need to do it once without the pain medication.
Right.
Wait a month or so you can recover, and then we'll do it with the pain medication.
Recover.
Well, from the spice.
We need a pain scale too, like a 1 to 10, and you
yeah.
can eat it. It has to be the same food,
Right.
The same dish. Although
same dish.
there could be some confounding variables, such as if it's a different cook or they make it
That's right.
differently.
You are your father's daughter, aren't you? The confounding variables.
Yeah, well,
Thinking through this.
I just had a unit in school about it, so it's fresh on my mind.
Right.
But you did learn something from that program. I appreciate that.
I think we've got to. This will be for a return visit then.
Yes, we'll do now. It'll be this will be a month or two experiment before we come back. We'll probably have some people chime in and tell us.
Oh yeah.
Tell us what
Absolutely.
they think, and that's fine.
People have started writing in more freely and more often now.
That's right. The tdsrpodcast at gmail.com is very popular, and I hear we have some kind of voicemail exclusive voicemail.
Yeah, that's an exclusive one.
Okay, all right.
So, but building on the spice episode, I went to Costa Rica, and I was in my youth, and there was an unknown hot sauce on the table, And the missionaries told me, they said, you really need to be careful with that.
All right.
And I said that I had grown up on hot foods, and so therefore I could handle whatever was in that bottle.
So this is one of those, y'all watch this.
Yeah, we all watch this. And so I really doused my food down pretty heavily.
Doused it?
Doused it, yeah. And then it proceeded to harm me. hurt me
So you
terribly.
had an allergic reaction,
Well, either the allergic or the pain.
and you couldn't stand the pain.
Yeah, it was tough.
Well, when you get poison ivy, right? You get some receptors there. You start itching like crazy.
Yeah.
So there might be something to it.
Yeah. The other thing I've heard, and this goes way back, it's unsubstantiated, and I cannot tell you where I read it, but it's on development of palate.
Okay.
And so people think that a highly developed palate, like someone who tastes wine and can taste the different tasting notes in wine, that they have a highly developed palate.
Okay.
But this article actually said it's the opposite, that the alcohol had harmed their palate and they actually had a dull palate.
So this had to have been before Google, because someone would have said that don't sound right for the same reason, right?
Right.
You don't have like one of the flavors you sense in wine is oak,
Right.
right? Well, we don't have oak receptors on our tongue.
No. Not that
We
know.
smell it,
Yes.
right?
Right.
So again, I mean, unless alcohol is burning my nostrils, I can maybe but most of your taste, from what I understand and remember, was you get it from smell.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because if you like hold your nose and eat something, you don't taste as
It
much.
tastes like edamame. Well, there's a helpful safety tip.
Yes. So you've got to go, Emily, you've got to go do the experiment now and come back and report it.
Okay.
You up for that? I'll take you out to dinner.
Well, that'll. Yes. Now.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Okay, that does sound
That
right.
does sound
I'm
right.
sold.
So I think it's worth mentioning that Emily does our artwork for That Don't Sound Right.
That's right. What all did you do for us?
I designed the logo and the T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
appreciate
There's
that.
actually a sticker out there now. too.
Oh, did you get one?
Yeah,
Did you have a
yeah.
sticker made?
Yeah, I did. I tried it out last week.
Okay, I had a hard time getting all that working, but I'm glad. I really want a sticker.
Yeah, there's one on there now.
Done.
So now if you weren't buying it because Peter and I were hawking it, now that you know that Emily designed it,
Yes.
you should go in there and purchase a T-shirt or a coffee mug.
Yeah.
It's our budding artist, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, I want to wrap up this week's episode with just everything that's going on in the Ukraine. Just to let people know, normally our show is pretty lighthearted, but there's some heavy things going on in the world these days, and we are certainly praying for peace.
Yes, we wanted to mention it. It just didn't seem right. I mean, for two reasons. First of all, it's on our minds. And the second reason is it's a real thing. It's a real hard thing. It's a real tragic thing that's happening in the world. And people are thinking about it. So just to know that if you're affected by this, that our thoughts and our prayers are with you.
Yeah. Well, thank you all again for being with us. Emily, thank you for being here.
Thanks, Emily.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, sure. If you come up with another topic, please, you know where to find
Yeah.
me. Let us know.
That's right. Yeah, you have an end to the show.
Right.
I do.
You know the producer.
I know both of them.
That's right.
That's right. Thank y'all.
Bye now.